My name is Kratitva and I'm here to tell you something about Windows Azure. Now before I tell you something about Windows Azure, let's talk about what it takes to run an application over the Azure. Well, for that you need to think about many things, such as your operating system, how you want to keep it updated. You need to think about the network, all the DNS servers and routers, how they're going to act up with your system. You need to think about the storage, how you're going to manage all that data, and about the scale, how you're going to scale with all those people who are distributed over the whole globe. Now for all the list I mentioned right now, I would like to point out two things. First, no matter what you are trying to build, you have to get through them. Second, all the four things I just mentioned right now have nothing to do actually with what you are trying to build, your application. So friends, think of this way. Suppose you have a cloud which have a service under whole roof. It can take care of all the four services like of your operating system and networks and data storage and let you worry about the only thing you care the most, your application. Obviously, this is going to make you happy as you can design and run your application much faster and easier way. This was the idea behind Windows Azure. Windows Azure is Microsoft's platform for cloud computing, which makes it an area, a space, where you can run your application at a wide scale. But Windows Azure is not just this. It focuses on the cloud computing platform for your application, which enables it to look after the whole web cycle of your application. It looks after the internal design, checking and testing of your application, and again deploy it onto the cloud with just one click. And when your application is already on the cloud over the internet, it's live. It gives you the analysis and reports of how your application is doing, so you can better understand your application and again deploy it to the cloud, a better version this time. Now Windows Azure comprises of three parts. First, the Fabric. Fabric includes many sort of abstract computers, which again have some internal data. They store all the applications which you're going to use. Secondly, we have the storage, which manages and stores all the data. And thirdly, we have the Visual Studio, which packages all the data and your computer and all the APIs you have used. And finally, it wholly packages into the SDK form, which you can download, run on your computer locally, and can test your application before deploying it to the cloud. Now that was something about Windows Azure. But what makes Windows Azure better and different from other cloud computing services? Well, it saves your money. Consider this example. When you are at home, you use your appliances such as tube lights, lamps. They are your utilities, which means you have to pay for them only when you are using them. This was the idea behind Windows Azure. You have to pay for your applications only when you are using them and only for those you are using. In this case, you don't have to worry about the peak when your application will be high. You won't have to worry about the resources. The only thing you have to worry about your application. In this whole process, Windows Azure makes it process simple, less cheap, and a better. So this was all about Windows Azure. I'm Kratitva for Microsoft.